Hola, buenos días.
Buenas tardes, buenas noches.
This is Barb.
And this is Estela.
And welcome to
Cafecito.
and Crime.
Is it Cafecito and Crime?
It's matcha and crime right now.
For you?
I'm sorry, guys.
Does matcha have caffeine?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then you're fine.
It's fucking delicious.
Good
And
for
a
you,
lot
brother.
of people say que sabe a mierda. And I could see why people
No, I
le
just
sabe a
think,
mierda.
no, but it depends how you take it.
Yeah.
You know, because if we're talking chipas,
What?
if you're talking about solamente matcha on its own, no syrups, no nothing, pues sí sabe a hierba, you know?
A hierba.
Pero yeah, once you dress it up like a coffee, pues
Yeah, kind of like a coffee. It's the same thing.
si le echas
right?
creamer, pues vas a ver a fucking creamer.
Pues sí,
Pues sí.
obviamente.
Yeah.
Pero yeah, it's only seasonal, so me lo tengo que tomar ahorita.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
I am doing wonderful. Today
Is your case.
is my case, but I wanted to tell everyone that Estela and I went to go watch the Taylor Swift release party.
Is it a release party?
That's what she called it.
Oh, okay.
It was called the Life of a Showgirl release party.
Okay.
And we went on last Friday, and a una pinche vieja que no se callaba el hocico.
Yeah.
Like,
And it was fine because everybody was like singing along.
no. Pero everybody was singing along.
Yeah.
Pero ella no. She was talking the whole fucking time.
Conversation.
Like a conversation about how we knew
Everything. Like,
yeah, we knew what her vows were. We knew that.
What?
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, those were my vows, girl."
Oh,
I'm
she
about to
did say
cry.
that.
I was
she
like,
did say that.
"What the?"
No, she was
fuck?
just not. And she wasn't quiet about it either.
No, she was loud.
And didn't somebody tell her like that
I
was in
think
front
some-
of her?
yeah.
Told her to be quiet or something like
alguien
that.
le dijo que se callara, pero I mean,
Because everybody was trying to like vibe and listen, right? And,
dude,
like,
I know exactly what everybody else wanted, and they knew exactly what I wanted, was to sit down and to listen to the music and vibe. That's it.
and sing along.
And sing along.
But she was like her voice was loud, like
Girl.
above when
luego,
people were singing.
Like, she was like laughing loud and all of this shit. Like, okay, y luego, but nobody was like being loud. Everybody was chilling, you know. Había unas niñas,
And then
you know.
everybody was having like drinks and stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I was like, because I think they ordered wine. So le digo a Barbie, do you think it's because she's drinking? Barbie's like, no, I think she's just like that.
No, I think she was just like that because
Yeah.
and when I got home, I told my daughter about it. My daughter was like, "Pero what was her problem?" I'm like, I have no idea. Like, I don't think she had a problem, pero everybody else had to be laughing at lo que ella estaba diciendo.
The ones that were with her,
With
around
her, or like
yeah.
her little friend group.
Yeah.
And I get it. It was like a whole like thing to go out
The
and
girls
meet
with the
girls,
girls,
whatever. And
There was guys there too, not just girls.
And they were wearing their Swift shirts and
Yeah.
everything.
It was a good time.
Pero my deal is like, cállate lo pinche puto hocico, güey. O sea, like, there was a time and a place for you to act like that. And this wasn't like, we weren't at a Mexican restaurant con pinches mariachis, babosa. Because what I'm saying is, like, when you're in a restaurant, you can laugh like that because everybody's talking at the same time and everything. We're all trying to listen to what Taylor is saying about her song. And we can't hear it because she was like fucking...
And she was right behind us.
Literally the row right behind us.
Yeah.
And I told Stella, this is not happening.
We were just
right now.
looking at each other like...
This is not happening right now. Pero you know what? It was still good. I still love the fucking album. I don't care what anybody says. But yeah, that was my non-good thing that happened to us last week. Bro, it's going to be a week already.
I mean, time flies.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Or your life is falling apart.
Can't relate. My life is fine. But anyway, so today we were going to... I was telling Estela right now before we got here, I said, yo dije pinche history time ahorita con los pinches.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to Newtown, Connecticut.
Okay.
Have we been to Connecticut? I don't think
so.
Have been to Connecticut. And we're going to be discussing the Woodchipper murder.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody's heard of it. If you have, just tell me if you haven't or you have. I don't know. But anyway, so if you would like to come with us to Newtown, Connecticut, go ahead and grab your cafecitos.
And let's get started.
So, like I said, yo dije history moment, okay? Fairfield Hills.
Oh, this is a fun, random, interesting fact.
Oh, my bad, bro. Yes, I apologize. I got excited. So number one, one more time. Number one, Newton, Connecticut, fun, random, interesting fact.
Newton or Newtown?
Newtown.
Okay.
So Newtown is that Fairfield Hills Hospital, okay, which was an asylum. Asylum, yeah. Is a former psychiatric institution that is often featured on haunted places list. Legend says that the hospital had tunnels and people reported that in the tunnels there was always ghostly orbs, shadows, and eerie screams in the nighttime.
Oh, what's it called again?
It's called Fairfield Hills Hospital. Como Fairfield.
Yeah.
So apparently I was reading up on it. The place looks fucking crazy sick from the outside.
Quick question before you continue. Would you go to a place like that?
No.
Like, no, you wouldn't go with like a Ghostbusters?
I don't fuck with that.
Okay.
Yeah. I will sit here and I will listen about scary shit and I will talk about it and everything, pero hasta ahí.
Fairfield
Fairfield Hills
Hospital. Got
Hospital. Yeah. So what I was reading was that apparently a lot of people died there because they were doing a lot of like the new like electro like magnetic shit and they would shock people to death and they were so they were like at that time, I think it closed in 1995. Mm-hmm. So at that time, it opened in like the 1800s or something, or 1900s, early 1900s. So at that time, they were doing like innovative shit.
Yeah.
You know, but they were hurting people because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
They were like experimenting, I guess you want to say.
Okay. So random interesting fact number 3 is that
What's number 2?
Number 2 is that Lake Lillinois. Okay. Is partly in Newtown, Connecticut, and it's named after a local legend that a tragic romance between a Native American named Princess Lillinois from the Potatuck tribe and an European colonist had a romance. Yeah.
Okay.
So when they had this romance, it is said that they fell in love. But obviously, she was the chief's daughter. Mm-hmm. So the chief said...
He was like a colonizer.
He was a pilgrim.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. Not a pilgrim. I'm just kidding. And so then when she fell in love, she was like, Dad, this is it. I'm going to marry this...
Mans,
the European colonist.
Yeah.
Y entonces él le dijo que no.
Uh-huh.
Porque obviously...
De seguro, and how old was she? Like 10 or some shit?
She was probably like 8. So she was so devastated and the European colonists left.
¿Cómo se llamaba el señor? El muchacho?
No, I didn't find that information.
Okay.
I probably is out there, but I didn't find it because he didn't matter.
Yeah.
And so then he left y ella se quiso ir detrás de él on a canoe.
Oh, shit.
So when she was on this canoe on the lake, Princess Lillinois se ahogó, güey.
Ay, no, pobrecita.
So she tried her best to reach him, pero nunca lo pudo alcanzar y se ahogó. He came back to look for her y estaba ahogada y la encontró ahogada, güey. So then he died next to her as well. I don't know.
Shit.
I don't know if he killed himself or whatever, pero he died next to her because their love was
very Romeo and Juliet.
Very, very.
So who named the lake after her?
I guess the people, because it's a man-made lake.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So locals say that her spirit still haunts the lake waters.
Connecticut's like very ghostly, it sounds like.
Yeah. So the last thing is,
fun, random, interesting.
Mm-hmm. Is that, do you know the game Scrabble?
Yep.
Okay. So Scrabble was created by Alfred Moicher Butts.
Butts?
Butts.
B-U-T-T-S?
Yes. In 1930.
Okay.
Then in the 1940s, a man by the name of James Burnott, who lived in Newton, Connecticut, saw potential.
Newton or Newtown?
Newtown, excuse me. I keep saying Newton. I'm sorry. Newtown, Connecticut, saw potential in the word game.
Okay.
So then he said, hey, let's make a deal, Mr. Butts. Mm-hmm. And let's manufacture and market this.
Okay.
So then they actually started to market and make the game at his home there in Newtown.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they officially called it Scrabble in 1948, and it was handmade in Newton. They're at the house,
Newtown.
The Newtown. Damn it! Why do I keep saying Newton? Okay, I'm gonna stop. They only made like 2,400 sets.
¿Qué más quieres, güey?
Yeah, And everything was
in the 40s, in the late 40s?
Made by hand. Okay. And the tiles were baked in Burnout's kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay. They packaged and everything in the living room, dude.
Yeah.
Ahí estaba. So the original house donde hicieron el actual game, it still stands.
Wow.
And locals refer it to as the house that was built on words.
I like that. I didn't know Scrabble had been around since, almost 80 years?
Yeah. So
cool.
It was called something else originally, but I didn't.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it was.
Yeah, it was called like something like You're Cool. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so like I said, we're going to be discussing the Woodchipper murder.
Okay.
So on November the 19th of 1986, a Pan Am flight attendant by the name of Helle Crafts returns to her home from a long flight. She was in Frankfurt, Germany, and she was being dropped off.
So she arrived to Frankfurt, Germany? That's where she lived? Or de allá venía?
She arrived to her home in Newtown, Connecticut.
Okay.
De allá venía. She was married to a pilot by the name of Richard Kraft. And these two kind of had been together for a while. They first met in 1969 in an airline convention in Miami. After 6 years of dating, they got married, and Helle ended up having her first baby, and then they ended up with having 3 babies.
Okay.
So they lived the American dream life. They both worked. They had their home.
They had their kids.
They had 3 kids, everything. And not only that, Richard was very active in the community. He was a part-time officer.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I never heard of a part-time officer. I didn't know what this, like a police officer. Maybe there is.
I've never, maybe en ese entonces, a lo mejor.
Maybe. He wouldn't do like traditional police work like guns and shit. He was more like he would assist with like small fender benders, or he would
traffic stop,
or like he would clear debris que estaba in the way of the whatever.
But then you're like a pilot and a part-time police officer?
Yeah. Wow. So I'll explain how does that make sense. So around 9 a.m., her coworker and friend dropped Helle off at her home in Newtown. She said that when she drove up to the driveway, Helle whispered, "Richard is home." She gets off, and after that, she's never seen again.
What?
Not a trace.
How did they know that he was home? Because ahí estaba el carro?
That's what she said. She said she didn't recognize any of the cars. Que ella nada más le iba a dar un ride.
Yeah,
pero
just drop her off.
ella no.
She just assumed, your husband's home.
Yeah. Now, Helle was also well known in the community. She was very caring, and she would do everything for her 3 children. Since they both worked, they did hire a live-in nanny by the name of Dawn Marie Thomas. She was hired by the couple since they were always out of town. Mm-hmm. Now, Helle's fellow coworker stated that she was very excited to go home because that was around Thanksgiving time, and she liked to celebrate Thanksgiving.
And I'm sure she missed her babies.
Yeah, dude, like, come on, you're gone for so long. So that night, they had a snowstorm. So it started to snow. Based on what I heard, it was not like usual for a snowstorm to come around that time. Pero this one was very like rainy and cold, and it was just a lot of snow. And there was like power outages all throughout the area. So in the morning, Richard says that when he wakes up, Helle has already gone to work.
Okay.
So he gets up and he notices that the power is out. So he's like, it's starting to get cold. So he got up and he wakes up the nanny, which is Dawn Marie, and the kids. And he's like, hey, let's go over to my sister's house. Now, Miss Dawn sí pregunta por Helle. Like, where did she go?
How do you spell her name?
Helle. Helle.
Okay.
Yeah. And whenever she asked for her, le dice él, she got up about an hour ago and she got dressed and she took her flight bags and she left the house. So it wasn't unusual for her to leave like that because, I mean, she had morning flights and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
so
she didn't want to wake them up, I guess.
So she got the kids ready and Richard drove them to Westport. And this is a town close by his house where his sister lived. Mm-hmm. He then takes off the kids y le dice a su sister, hey, I'm going to go back home and check on the electricity. I'll be back later today. Well, he didn't come back later today. He actually came back mucho más tarde, longer than they thought. But they didn't really question it because they thought maybe the lights were still off,
Yeah.
So the power did come back eventually. And Richard drove back to pick them up along with the nanny and they went home. But Helle wasn't home. On November the 20th, Helle did not show up for work. Mm-hmm. So one of her flight attendant friends, her name was Trudy Horvath, called her home to check on her. And Richard tells her, hey,
she's not here.
She's not here. He then says, he goes on to tell her that she had gone to Europe.
Okay.
That she left to Europe to see her mother for a few days because she had fallen sick. See, Helle was originally from Denmark.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about her background. Helle Lorik Nielsen was born on July the 7th of 1947 in Charlotte Lund, Denmark. From a young age, the girl, like everything that I read about her or that I saw about her was that the girl loved to learn new things. Ella quería andar al 100, like learning and going to different places. She didn't want to stay in one spot.
Yeah.
Ella quería de aquí a otra cosa, like that. And she spent some time abroad as soon as she had
the opportunity.
So she reportedly went to as an exchange student to England.
From Denmark.
So se fue as a young age. Ella ya estaba lista para irse.
Yeah, and she wanted to go.
Yeah. And then also when she was a little bit older, she worked as an au pair. So for everybody that doesn't know that, that's a person working for or living with the host family.
Yeah.
And
you nanny, pretty much. You watch their kids in exchange for like room and board.
Yeah. So in France, so she gets to experience that, and she learned French.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And so she was
on it,
girl. Then she returned to Denmark and she became a French translator.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She was very hardworking and she was ready, like I said, always for the next thing. What's next? What's next? So one day in her town in Denmark, they were looking for flight attendants. So that was her dream job. She's like, bro, I get to just travel.
Yeah.
You know, they don't pay much, but she was like, the experience that I'm going to get, and at this time, she's like literally like 22. Like she's a baby.
Pan Am, I think it's an older airline that no longer exists. So yeah.
And apparently like it was very prestigious to be able to
fly or work. There was an actual show about that. It got canceled on ABC. I think it only lasted like a season or two, but yeah.
So at this point, she's like, dude, this is my dream job. I cannot wait.
Let's go.
I'm
packing
my shit up. Ya me fui. So she applied without thinking, and she was one of 200 applicants of her little town.
Yeah.
And they were only going to choose 8.
Oh my God.
So she got the job.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she started to work for Capital Airways. And she, like, that's something that Helle had, was that she made friends quickly and she made a lot of them.
Yeah.
She had friends everywhere. Not only did she have friends because of her moving around, but that's how she learned a lot of stuff. And it's
when you meet people,
you meet people. Yeah. She was very modest. They would call her modest and charming and funny, but she was also a very serious person when she needed to be. In May of 1969, when she was 22, is when she met Richard Kraft. Now, Richard, he was around 10 years older than her. He was living the bachelor life.
Okay.
Yeah. He was not looking for commitment. And so at this point, he's like in his 30s, early 30s. And he came from money. Él tenía dinero.
Okay.
O su familia. He was from New York. And once again, he didn't want to be with anybody. So he was just going from one woman to another. Como quien dice. But when he met Helle, he was kind of like, oh my God. Like,
I love her.
I'm going to marry her. And he fell for her quickly. So, like I said, Richard was from New York. He came from money. He was in a private school and he was a student. He didn't do a very good job at school.
Okay.
But he did graduate and he did go on to go to college. But he didn't last very long in college. He dropped out and then he did join the Marines.
Okay.
So this is where, while being in the Marines, he excelled at specializing in flying in helicopters.
Oh, okay.
So that's how he ended up
becoming a pilot.
A pilot, yeah.
When you meant that he was a pilot, did you mean for like an airline? Okay,
yeah.
okay.
He also was well-traveled and obvious because in the Marines, you...
También vas de lugar en lugar.
Yeah, exactly. So that's something that they had in common. Then he did leave the Marines to become a pilot. They were on and off for about 6 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because once again, he was like, yo soy
puro pinche party.
Yo soy pinche soltero.
Mujeriego.
Me gustan las mujeres. Me gusta tomar. Like, that's what he wanted. at one point, Helle did become pregnant with their first child, and they ended up getting married. So back to the story. Trudy, which was one of the friends of Helle, calls Richard.
Because this is because she didn't show up to work.
Because she didn't show up to work.
But this is again after she didn't show up to work, or this is cuando él le dijo a ella, or the other ones, if she's traveling to Europe because her mom's sick.
Yeah.
Was it that time?
It was that time.
Okay.
So once again, de que se había ido a ver a su mamá because she had gotten sick. But this is the same story que he tells everybody. The mom, the nanny, the sister, the kids, everybody. He tells her that Helle had left her Toyota Trestle, which is a blue car, parked in the employee parking lot like she always did. And she left it there and then went to Denmark to see her mom. In fact, the car was parked there because when she was, when she went to go out to like check on that, because she was kind of like, dude, no le creo ni madre, but let me go. The car was still there.
Okay.
But at this point, she left and then came back from her trip, like a 3-day trip, and the car was still there. So she's like, that's not...
No está cuadrando.
Something is not right. So she said that when she went to go look in the car, como look around the car, there were some boots that Helle was wearing the day que
the last time that
they saw her. And there was other things that were there in the car, como que it was shuffled around. So 3 more days passed. Like I said, the car's still there. And at this point, her coworkers are like, something is not right. Like, we need to talk to someone. This is not okay.
Mm-hmm.
So they go to the police and they filed a missing persons report. Now, her friend said that they weren't just like regular friends. Like, they were people that
were really close.
Now, as you know, and as I know, when you work with some people, you just click and you're just
friends,
really good friends.
Yeah.
And then some people are just your coworkers.
Yeah.
And so they all loved her. Everybody loved Helle. And like I said, she was really easy to make friends and, and so after they go to make the missing person report, the news kind of picked up the story and they put it out on pues ya ves en la TV back then in 86. Yeah. No hace mucho.
Only 40 years.
Now, almost pendeja. Now, Newtown, Connecticut is very quiet. And there's not really
anything that
happens. Like,
and I'm sure especially back in the 80s, right?
Yeah,
you said it was...
No había, like, I think the worst thing that happened was like somebody stole somebody's mail or something. Like, it was...
No, truly. Like, it was just like a small town.
Yeah. So this was the biggest news that hit the media in quite some time. So after speaking to the friends of Helle, they did find out some interesting facts about Richard.
Okay.
So
her
husband. So now they're like, well, let's go tell the police what we know. They find out that the couple had a far from perfect marriage. So Richard had been having a double life, and he actually been having an affair with a flight attendant for the past 20 years.
Oh my God.
This wasn't like somebody that you just like, oh, I just had sex with or whatever. No. 20 years.
So probably as long as they have been together.
Exactly. So not only that, the investigators also found out that 3 months prior to Helle disappearing, she had hired a divorce lawyer by the name of Diane Anderson.
Okay.
And she told Helle to hire a private investigator to document that Richard was cheating on her.
Okay.
Or that he was having an affair. So she hired the private investigator. His name was Keith Mayo. Why did I think that was the coolest name? I don't know.
Mayo? Like mayonesa?
And he followed him and did, in fact,
catch him in the act.
Took some pictures of it or whatever.
Documented.
Se las llevó a Helle. And this is when she decided to serve the divorce paperwork. Now, I'm pretty sure Helle knew that this was going on, but I think she kind of more or less got tired of it.
Yeah.
Because 20 years, dude, like, come on. So Richard refused to accept it. And he said, no, I'm not going to sign paperwork. They even had I guess back then, like, if you were going to serve paperwork, the sheriff had to serve the paperwork. I don't know how that worked. Pero he even refused the sheriff to serve the paperwork. And on top of that, they made an appointment for him to come in and pick it up. And he'd never made it.
Wow.
He said he wasn't going to have a divorce because he didn't want to lose his children. But that's the same thing that Helle didn't want either. But they agreed to discuss it when she came back from Germany.
Which is where we were at the beginning
beginning of the story. Now, when time passes and Helle is still not coming or calling around, one of her coworkers, her name is Lena Johnson, talked to Richard again. Now, this time, le habló a Richard himself, and she asked him for the number of where Helle was staying. And she's like, can you give me something? Because we need to make sure she's okay. And he gave her a number, but when Lena called, the number was not working. And so she calls again to Richard and said, hey, dude, this number is not working. What's going on? And she asked him, hey, can you verify the number? And yeah, that was a number that he had. But she's like, it doesn't work. And he told her, okay, then what you can do is you can call Helle's cousins that live in California and ask them for the number.
Okay.
But why would I? I'm the one looking for your wife.
What are you doing?
Exactly?
Y él todavía está manteniendo the story that she was visiting her mom. In Europe.
In Europe.
In Denmark.
In Denmark. Que está enferma la señora. And she's like, well, dude, like, that's not okay.
And what is the police talking to Richard?
Not yet.
Okay.
And not at this point. Then ella le dice, well, can you call these people? Because I don't know them. Like, I don't know this family member or whatever. And he said, yeah, if I have time. Okay. He said he would call if he had time.
Oh, shit.
So,
what else are you doing, brother?
So Lena's like, this is not okay.
I would have been like, you know what? Give me the fucking number. I'll call him myself.
She probably did.
Yeah.
But she speaks to the nanny después.
Oh, yeah.
Y le dice a la nanny, Dawn Thomas, y le dice, oye, I don't know. I just been thinking about, this. Can you help me to get this number? Because I'm sure that the nanny has to know. I mean,
or have some other number that she could call.
And so then she said, Marie told her that she can't find her address book. So she says, all of my contacts were in a book that Miss Helle had given me. And she's like, and I put them next to my drawer donde I kept it because I didn't want to lose it. She's like, and I cannot find it. It's not there. I don't know what happened to it. I have no idea. At this point, I mean, you would think, did you lose it? What happened? I don't know. Once again, the friends are not giving up, dude. They're like, we're going to fucking find something. So they start calling around her emergency contacts, que no sé qué, que no sé cuánto. They finally find the number.
Okay.
De la mamá de Helle.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. So they're like, let's call her.
And
let's
see what's going on.
What's going on, if she's there. So it turns out that the number that they actually found for Helle's mom, it was off by one number, dude.
Of course.
It was off by one number, right? So they call. And Ms. Nielsen, the mom de Helle, was like, I'm not ill. I'm fine.
My daughter's not here.
My daughter is not here. And I haven't heard from her in weeks.
Yeah.
They're like, wait, what? What do you mean? This is what Richards keeps saying. And that, that she's there, whatever. And she's like, no, well, she's not here. Well, at this point, Thanksgiving comes around. And now people are really starting to worry about her because they're like, she would never not be with her kids.
For Thanksgiving.
And after all of this, they also kind of started talking amongst each other. And some other people would say that Helle would actually tell them sometimes, hey, if something happens to me, don't think that this is
an accident. It was on purpose.
It was on purpose. Some
shit.
Richard is trying to hurt me. Or,
oh my God.
Yeah. So a lot of people kind of were like, hey, dude, like, I think we should take this, these concerns to the police. They go back to the police. And the police, yo creo ya de tanto que la gente kept going, they decided to bring in Richard for questioning. He came in like around the early part of December.
So pasó Thanksgiving, toda la cosa.
Toda la cosa. First part of December, the first week. And he told investigators that Helle had gotten up and left on November the 19th. And that was it. Se levantó, she grabbed her bags and she left. And they're like, okay, well, do you know where she went? No, I have no idea. So they asked him, can we take a lie detector test? Can you take a lie detector test? And back then in the 80s, that was the newest of the newest, bitch. Like, that was the shit.
Yeah.
So after he agreed, he was like, yeah, let's do it. 2 or 3 hours passed. They did 9 questions. They asked him and he passed it.
Okay.
2 officers were there giving him the test.
And operating
the machine. And they both look at each other and they were like, he passed it.
There's no deception.
So they asked him, were you lying about that Helle was gone, that she had went to go see her mom? And he's like, yeah, I did lie about that. Okay, so why did you lie? And he's like, well, because I didn't want no one to find out that she actually left me.
Oh.
So que le daba vergüenza that his wife had left them and left the kids.
Yeah.
Once again,
he wasn't lying.
According
to the lie detector test.
So the police clears Richard. And now they were like, okay, so we need to broaden this search. Like, there's this woman with 3 children that just fucking vanishes, So they brought in which I had no idea this was a thing, but they brought in a chief of forensic laboratories. Dr. Henry Lee was his name. And Dr. Lee was a badass. I just want you to know that. So 2 weeks have passed and nothing is coming up, and the investigators are not getting closer to anything or anything like that. And there's no news. So they interviewed everyone and anyone that they could. And so they were like, well, what do we like? Where do we start? Like, we start interviewing people, whatever. So all they did was they were like, well, let's go through her finances. Maybe she's used her card or whatever. I don't know how it worked back then, but they tried and there was nothing. Nothing was abnormal. Now, one day, Dawn Marie and Keith Mayo, the investigator.
And the nanny.
They came in and they wanted to speak to investigators.
Okay.
So Dawn Marie said that one day while she was cleaning up the master bedroom and she was making the bed, and when she pulled up the blanket to put the sheet on, she saw a stain.
Okay.
On the same side, there was a stain on the carpet.
Okay. So she saw 2 stains.
So there was a stain on the when
sheet?
she under the cover and then on the carpet.
Okay.
And so when she went to go, and it was dark brown. So when she went to ask Richard, hey, well, what is that stain? He was all like, oh no, it was kerosene. So kerosene, I don't know if you know what that is, but what it is basically like fuel for airplanes.
Yeah.
And he said that it was because he had a heater in there.
In his room?
Because remember que se les había ido la luz?
Yeah.
And that he had connected the heater. The kerosene, it had dripped out. But right after, she told the police that right after she mentioned that to him, he ripped out all the carpet.
Oh, damn.
All of it.
Yeah. But that's her...
That's her kind of just remembering
weird
some
stuff.
Things, right? So she was like, well, you removed the whole carpet, pero okay. Now, Mr. Mayonesa was the biggest reason that the investigators kept looking into Richard. He insisted that he had killed his wife and that they needed to put him in jail. He was like, you guys need to arrest him. So the investigators started to, guess what? Investigate.
Yeah.
And they looked into Richard's finances and his purchases and that kind of thing. And since Helle had disappeared, the first thing that they found was that he had bought some new bedding and pillows.
Okay.
For a king-size bed.
Okay.
In a department store. The day right after Helle went missing.
Okay.
So they're like, okay, well, that's not really like
a smoking gun or anything.
No, pero I mean, it just so happens that you did it right the next day, right? That's fine.
Well, yeah, porque había kerosene, pues he needed new ones.
Yeah. And the next thing that they discovered, that during the November the 18th winter storm, Mr. Richard had rented a woodchipper.
Okay.
And he bought a freezer.
Okay.
And a U-Haul truck.
Okay.
All of these things.
On the 18th.
On the 18th. So with this, they're like, this is a little bit abnormal. So, hey,
where are these things?
Mm-hmm. So the judge was able to sign a search warrant. And on December the 25th,
right on Christmas, bro?
Mm-hmm. The investigator with Dr. Lee, the chief of forensic lab, went into the Craft home. Now, my question to you was, I don't know if this is in the 80s or whatever, but
you literally said it was 86.
Yeah, I know, but I was about to say, I don't know if this is something that would happen in the 80s, but don't you have to be home if they have a warrant, they don't need you to be home, right?
No.
So anyway, well, they went in on the 25th because they knew that the Crafts were not home because according to the nanny, they were going to go to Florida
For Christmas.
For Christmas, yeah. Even Dr. Lee was like, we decided to do it at this time because we didn't want to embarrass the kids. We didn't want them to get scared. They had already been through enough.
Yeah.
And so when they arrived at the home, Estela, it was a fucking mess. Shit everywhere. There was like broken furniture. There was furniture in the fireplace that was burned. Pero nada más estaban like half burnt.
Like,
yeah, no estaba todo burnt.
fully charred or whatever.
Yeah. Y entonces, and there was just like carpets missing everywhere. The kids' room were missing mattresses. And then some places had 2 mattresses. Like, it was just really weird. Because you would think, I mean, this is a nice house. Because they had a nice house. And estaba hecha una mierda.
But isn't that what Miss La au pair, like, or the nanny, I'm sorry, wasn't that kind of like what she was there for? También ayudar con los chores?
I guess because that's why she was making the bed. I don't know. But anyway, then in the master bedroom, they go in and they found that the mattress was there, but it wasn't on the actual bed frame. It was estaba como así como
to the side, like
side. And then when they did flip over the bed, like they pushed it over, there was a big blood stain on the mattress.
Yeah.
In a corner.
Yeah.
So they
cut that
out. And around the same area where Dawn Marie had found, or where she had seen that blood, they were able to find some other things that were, they're like, okay, there's blood here, right? Now, back in the 86, they didn't have the DNA that they have now.
Right.
So they only knew.
Which kind of we were talking about in my last episode. It was from 84.
Yeah. So they only knew a little bit. So the only thing that they could tell with that blood was that if it was a female or a male, and it was female. And then if it was what type of blood it was. And it was O type.
Which is, well, I'm sure we'll get there.
Yeah. And that was Helle's blood type.
Yeah.
So they also found that there was splatter. So like he cleaned it up.
Pero quedó.
Como que ya ves que you could see pero with the luminol, because they had luminol in the 86 end.
Yeah.
You could see that there was like a splatter.
Like, trataron de, well, they cleaned it up, pues.
They cleaned it up, yeah. And this was all in the master bedroom. Now they have all of this against Richard. And they're like, okay, we need to find a body.
Yeah.
Because
con esto no es suficiente.
Nah. And as you said, if there's no body,
it's just hard.
It's just, it's harder. So the investigators said that they looked everywhere. They looked in the washer, in the septic tank, everywhere. And they were like...
On the property?
On the property. We couldn't find anything. So on December the 29th, a snowplow driver by the name of Joseph Hine said that on November the 19th, he saw a man with a big machine that looked like a wood chipper in the middle of the storm that was outside... in the storm, wood chipping on a bridge over the Lake Zor, which I thought Lake Zor was so
sounds
cool.
Cool.
Like, cool.
Yeah, sounds like magical.
Yeah, magical. He said that it was like in the middle of the night, pero estaba todo oscuro.
Yeah, porque no había luz.
And he's driving, because the only
snow
people...
plower.
Plower.
So
dice que the only people that were out, pues, son las gentes...
The people that are snow plowing or trying to clear the roads.
Trying to clean the roads and stuff. Y dice que se le hizo bien raro because...
Imagínate, güey.
Parado y con todo esto aquí y luego está una big ass wood chipper.
I was about to say, like in all the snowstorms and everything, you could see maybe somebody, I don't know where you typically see it during a snowstorm and
I've never been in one, pero I'm pretty sure that you're not going to see a wood chipper with somebody wood chipping.
In the middle of a snowstorm.
In the middle of a snowstorm. Not only that. So he said que cuando he was driving his little truck, el Joseph, ¿verdad? Dice que le dio la luz a the person.
Yeah.
Y que he saw their face. Y que cuando lo miraron, que hasta les hizo to go around him.
Pues sí, it's not like he was going to stop wood chipping.
He wasn't going to stop wood chipping.
Yeah.
This wood chipping needed to happen right now.
Yeah.
Okay? So he even said that he drove off onto the bridge over the lake and then drove back. And el wood chipping andaba al 100 todavía. So he's like,
what is this man doing?
What is this man doing? Not only that, but he said that the wood chipper, it wasn't like in the middle of the road. No, él la tenía with the end of it pointing towards the lake.
Yeah.
So everything that was coming out
Was going into the lake.
obviously, right? So, you know what? Dr. Lee said, I don't give a fuck about you. I'm about to go find these wood chips.
Yeah.
Okay? So he said, tell me where the wood chips was at. They took them to the area and they pitched the tent, bitch.
Okay, cool.
So they pitched this tent and they started to sift. I mean, literally sift through piles and piles of wood chips.
Yeah,
That
se encontraron
que
ahí.
encontraron. Yeah.
Well, I bet you it was frozen también, pues todavía.
Frozen y luego además de eso, like rainy.
Yeah.
Y todo eso y luego.
Ahí quedó pegado.
Yeah. So they're like sitting there como si fueran, you know how they look for gold? Mining the wood chips. So they would pick up dirt and they're mining because obviously they needed to find as much as they could. And they did find a lot of wood chips.
I wonder how fine wood chips are. I'm thinking, I mean, no se hace sand. So
No se hace sand, pero se hace como, okay.
¿Boronas?
Have you seen, no, have
Like
you
hay?
seen, no. Because what I saw on the stuff that I saw, have you seen, ¿cómo se le llama lo que le echas alrededor de las plantas?
Oh,
Mulch.
yeah.
Y a veces que hay unos palitos.
Yeah.
That's as small as they get.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Okay. Now, the investigators, like I said, they were out there. He said, Dr. Lee said they were out there for up to 10, 15 hours. They didn't care. They were just out there, just going through every single piece that they could to find as much as they could.
Yeah.
Well, their hard work paid off because they found 66 little bone chips, 2,668 hairs, a partial tooth, a dental crown,
Oh my God.
half of a toenail, and part of a finger. So from all of this, they made less than 3 ounces
Wow.
of human
body parts.
body parts or body pieces.
Yeah.
With this, they were able to compare that the hair from the lake that they found to Helle's hairbrush.
Yeah.
Right? So they were both bleached. Obviously, like we said,
She did her hair.
DNA was not what it is now. So they were both bleached and both died. So, and then they could also see that at the ends of the hair estaba como trauma, donde había pasado por el wood chip.
Okay.
They also found some pieces of like a letter. Y decía allí como que it was for her, como de su mom.
Aw.
Yeah. And it seemed like her mom had written her a letter and she had it with her. And, and they found some fabric. So the fabric was blue and green, and it was verified from Dawn Marie that it was Helle's favorite nightgown. So what the investigators think, the letter was in her pocket.
Yeah.
You know, when she, I guess, whatever happened to her. The portion of the nail that they found was painted.
Yeah.
So they were able to go back to the house and they matched the nail polish from one of the from her room.
Yeah.
And it seemed like ese fue el último que sacó because that was the one that wasn't in place.
I see.
So she had just used it. Yeah. On top of that, they kept looking and, trying to, like I said, they tried their best to find as much as they could, but that's all they found.
I feel like that's a lot still.
Girl, that's a lot. And at the scene, they did try diving at the lake. And guess what? They found a chainsaw.
Oh, shit. I didn't even think of that.
They found a chainsaw. And now, the chainsaw was extremely, like, as we know, it was in the water for a while. And it was frozen and all kinds of shit. Pero, you know how whenever I don't know if you've ever used a chainsaw, pero you have to grease it. Para que dé vuelta la chain.
Okay.
So, dijo Dr. Lee that stuck in that grease, there was human tissue and human hair.
Wow.
Particles. Pero it actually preserved because of the grease.
And then también also because of the weather.
It was cold. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, the serial number of the chainsaw, they had scratched it off.
Oh, mira.
Oh, yeah. They thought about everything. But they did restore the number.
How?
I think that maybe como que if you scratch it like superficially, those things are like back in the 80s. ¿Te imaginas todo estaba hecho como
like engraved?
Engraved?
Kind of?
So me imagino que they just kind of took off the top layer and you can see the number. The thing is, when they did that, they were able to find the model and make of the chainsaw.
Okay, yeah.
Okay? Y pues, ¿qué crees?
¿Quién lo compró?
after they found the model and make of the chainsaw and the serial number, they were able to find where it was purchased.
Right.
It was purchased at a chainsaw store.
Of course.
In Newtown, because where do you buy chainsaws?
No era de Milpitas.
No era de Milpitas. It was at the chainsaw store. And when they went to speak to the owner, he still had receipts.
Of course.
Because
it had only been, what, like a month? He said it was December, at the end of December. And if this happened on the 18th, 19th,
so I mean,
over a month.
And not only that, but we're talking about a almost $500 purchase. And guess what he did? He bought warranty.
Mira.
Sí. So he had the warranty, and when they went to ask him for the receipt, ahí estaba.
Y debajo de nombre de...
Richard Crafts, with his name on it.
Richard Craft or Crafts?
Crafts.
Como like arts and crafts?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And his name was signed on the receipt. At this point, they have enough.
Oh, yeah.
They have enough to arrest his little bitch ass. And they arrested him on January the 13th of 1987. They did go to his home. And they were kind of worried.
En la casa que estaba trashed?
La que estaba trashed. Because after they got there, they knocked on the door y todo y no quería salir.
Pinche puto.
So they were kind of scared because they were like, ¿qué si le hace algo a los niños?
Yeah.
So they were like, they gave them time. They were like, take your time. You know, ya ni sabían ni que yo me imagino. Y and just to make sure that the kids were safe. And he came out after 30 minutes. Once he was taken into custody. They charged him with the murder of Helle. The media went crazy, Estela, because this is huge, dude.
Yeah.
This shit doesn't happen in fucking Newtown, Connecticut.
Y luego porque I'm sure he was well known.
And also...
He was a pilot. He was a part-time police officer.
Yeah.
I mean...
So here's the deal. They had a lot of evidence. Most of it was physical, but no body. And so the prosecution said that they had to present. So what Dr. Lee said was that he had to testify for 6 days consecutively because of everything
that they found. That was forensic, you know?
Yeah. So most of it was, he said they had DNA type, blood grouping, hair comparison, fabric comparison, handwriting analysis. Like, it was a lot. There was thousands of pieces of evidence that were brought to the jury that day. So it took them 4 months, dude.
God damn.
4 months to present everything to the jury. Now, after that, the fucking jury was tired. They were like, what the fuck? So then after that, they went into 17 days of deliberation.
God damn.
Because...
I guess they weren't that tired.
I guess they weren't.
Well, I mean, were they charging him with, was it in Connecticut, matan?
No.
Okay.
No mata.
Or back then, you know.
Back then. And then the thing is, it was what they say as the longest in the state history. The longest.
Jury deliberation.
Yeah.
17 days.
17 days. Hasta que
mean, especially if you said that there was thousands and thousands of pieces of evidence that were submitted. Yeah.
So one juror said he was tired of this shit and he walked out.
No way.
Yeah. Y dijo que he wasn't coming back unless they carried him in there a fuerza.
So they brought in an alternative? One of the alternatives for the jury?
Guess what they did? Declared a mistrial.
What?
Yep. Declared a mistrial. Because they couldn't get their shit together.
Well, especially that one. He fucked it up for everybody.
This time, they did another trial.
Well, yeah.
And, but this time they went to Norwalk. Not Newtown.
Yeah.
Norwalk, Connecticut, which was a little bit further. Pero the reason was because they didn't want, like, the same jury to be, like, compromised or whatever.
Yeah.
And once again, there was a lot of media out there. So on September the 7th of 1989...
Oh, shit.
The new trial began.
Yeah.
So without a crime scene, no murder weapon, nothing. Pure speculation is what they had to go about to kind of paint a picture about what happened.
To the jury, yeah.
So the prosecuting attorney recreated this scene, okay? So when Helle comes home, she immediately knows that he's there.
Yeah.
As we said before, or as I say before, they start to argue before bed. Like, él ya traía eso que they were going to argue.
Yeah.
So then it said that...
He was probably just waiting for her to get home or something.
Waiting for her to get home. And it sounds like she was kind of like, dude, let's just
I want to go to sleep.
I want to go to sleep. Let's not argue, whatever.
She already had her robe on.
She had a robe on. And it seems like she was like either agachada or bending over to grab something, or he got her like in a bad moment where she didn't see him coming.
Yeah.
But he hit her with his flashlight. Yeah, the big old flashlight.
Yeah.
So he hit her upside the head, knocked her out. But then he started hitting her many times.
Beating her.
Until she passes away. So that's what they think, that's what it was, because of the way that it was presented.
Blood,
and it was a blunt force trauma for sure. And then he wrapped her in another carpet, como un rug que ella tenía allí. So whenever he wrapped her in that carpet, he didn't realize that the blood had seeped
through it
to the other
to the bottom, to the main carpet,
to where ahí miró Don, right?
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he takes the whole carpet and he wrapped her in there, and he puts the body in the freezer that he bought.
Mm-hmm.
So the freezer was in the garage.
Wait, so all of this was premeditated because he bought all that shit
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
the day before.
Yeah.
Y ya llegó el 19.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
So, so the next thing you know, he had left her in the freezer all day.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time that
the power went out y todo eso.
Pero I think that the freezer lo tenía como con otro power, because he left
like a generator,
maybe, or maybe.
Oh, maybe because it was so cold outside anyway, dude. Like, you didn't need to, like.
A lot of people were speculating that maybe the lights didn't really go off, and he just said that so that he can go drop off his kids and the nanny.
Pero I don't think Marie would fall for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she really liked her boss.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And so then,
I mean, and you would have been able to see the other houses that everybody else had power. Come on now,
that's
true.
So then, I don't know. That's what people were saying, right?
Yeah.
And so then he takes out the body from the freezer, and when he came back from dropping off his kids.
As his sisters.
Damn,
bitch. And then he went to drop off his kids at his fucking sister's house.
Yeah.
Came back home and after he killed their mom.
Yeah.
He wood chipped her.
Wait.
In the middle of a storm.
Wait, no. Before he wood chipped her, he cut her in pieces.
Of the chainsaw, right?
Yeah. But what is easier for you to cut if it's frozen? So that's why he froze her. He put her in the freezer para cortarla with better precision, and there wasn't going to be a mess because she was frozen.
Yeah.
So he cuts her up in pieces. Y luego, he takes the freezer with him and the wood chipper in the U-Haul that he rented. And that's when he went over to the bridge and he started...
¿Cómo se llama esa lake? Lake Zora?
Lake Zora, yeah. And he started wood chipping her from there. So if it wasn't because of the snowplow man, lo miró parado allí.
Y le flashed the lights in his fucking face.
Y le dijo que...
Go around.
Go around me, bitch. Go around me now. Then he might have gotten away with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So this is what they put together, because hasta ahorita...
They don't really know what happened.
No.
And he hasn't said anything?
Nope. He remains to say that he is innocent. So Richard did not show any emotion. After only 3 days this time of deliberation, he was found guilty on November the 20th of 1989. And he was sentenced to 50 years in prison.
Wow.
And he is now at the Summers Correctional Facility in Connecticut. I'm not sure where that is, but he kept quiet most of the time because he was like, I'm not going to say nothing. But at one point, I don't know if this is just like somebody making shit up or if not, but at one point in 1996, he did speak to the press one time, and he told them that if he wanted to, he could get out of prison.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Because of his money, his family's money?
I don't know. But they asked him, well, why don't you get out? You know, if you're so sure of that. He said because he did not want to throw away what he was working for.
Which is?
Because of the fact that he did good behavior, he got out in 30 years.
Oh, so he got out when in like
2020. In January of 2020, he was set free and he was transitioned into a housing or a halfway house.
Pues ya está viejo de todos modos,
He was
¿no?
86, 87, por ahí.
No lo metieron a hospice. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, for real. To help him integrate back into society.
Into a senior citizen's home?
Whatever it is that they do.
Dude, that always like... Dude, like, you're never going to, I don't know how the kids feel, but if they believe their dad, because there's children that believe that their parents are innocent, you know, if they, Like, how do you deal with that?
I don't know. How do you get past that?
Yeah.
But that is the Woodchipper murder, the murder of Helle Crafts.
I'm going to look her up.
I just feel like, honestly, like, okay, if you didn't want to be with her, pero, I mean, what was tying you down? Like, was she going to take your money? I mean, like, pero still, you had a whole fucking other life, dude, for 20 years.
Dude, he looks like an ass.
Oh, he looks like an ass. And not only that, pero...
She looks so regal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, she looks European. Like, you know how there's European royalty? She kind of looks like that.
And not only that, pero también, like, you can tell, like, con sus mascadas y todo eso, like, she was really fancy.
Yeah.
Like, siempre andaba bien vestida. Her hair was always done.
She's like high society.
Yeah, she would go to the kids' schools and she would, like, do, like, the parent, ¿cómo se le llama? When they would be, like...
PTA?
No. Cuando hacían como que... your career day y todo eso, and then he would come as a pilot. She would be the stewardess or the flight attendant.
Their kids were little too.
Yeah. So, like, for someone to kill you like that, it's like...
Cut you up and then put you through a wood chipper. Wow.
Pero he really thought that he was going to... Because he thought about that shit, girl. He thought about it. He froze her body. He cut her up in pieces. He was like, I got this. But let us know what you think about today's case. If you would like to follow us on Instagram, you can at
Cafecito and Crime Pod. And if you would like to download our episodes, leave us a review and or rate us. We would really appreciate it.
Haznos el paro, güey.
Yeah.
Haznos el paro. You have a wonderful night and we'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.